Hello guys, welcome to another dose of clues, cues and reviews. It's Monday, so as you know with Monday we get a release of 7 Deadly Sins, Fairy Tail, Black Clover. So we are looking to do those videos over the next couple of hours. So first up for review is the most recent episode of Fairy Tail, and it was referred to as Transport. To be honest, it should have been called Convenient, because there's a few convenient points in this episode of this chapter that were awfully fairly too convenient for my liking. But without further ado, let's get into the review. So, point number 1. We start off with without Fairy Tail, the guild, and Natsu's still down, and Lucy and Happy kind of overlooking him. Natsu's worried, and Happy's worried about Natsu, and Lucy reassures him. Meanwhile, everyone else again excited at the fact that Di Maria has been taken down. The young ones are obviously from Makoto's point of view is again all excited, and the first is worried that the two that were coming from the east, other than God, whatever her name is, God Serena, I've stopped moving. So it turns out she had reason to be worried, because enters Jacob Alessio to the guild through the front door, no less. Number 2, so it begins. Jacob Alessio enters and basically says radar doesn't mean much to them, considering they've got August on their side, so he can easily counteract it. And he basically says, today is an interesting day. It's Respect the Aged Day, something that's a main thing in the area. It's actually like a Japanese celebration day as well. So he thought he'd come here early before August to make his life easier to lion his load. He also said he figured that he'd share the last drink with people before he killed them. Unfortunately for him, Makarov basically said, he goes, I've got no drink for you. He goes, alright then, let's begin. And that's point number 2. So we find out why he's there and why he actually got there without them being detected, because of August. So August guy's impressive. He actually is quite a knowledgeable dude considering what he knows. It'd be cool if they had him in Fairy Tail to be some type of teacher, so he could teach him magic. That would be pretty funky, to be fair, but interesting point nonetheless. Point number 2. So point number 3, Alessio explains that he's basically an assassination specialist. He's seen all the areas around that he could use to assassinate everybody without anybody knowing, all the shadows. He's basically like a ninja. Now he starts engaging his magic, and literally within a flash he makes everybody disappear but the first, and actually the first being a spirit. What was crazy is somehow he managed to damage the first. So I don't know how he did that, but it's explained later on. But at the time I was thinking, what the hell is this? And then he basically said, look, so you must be Fairy Heart. And we see glimpses of Fairy Heart cracking a little bit. And then you think, okay, she's in trouble now. And then we get the next point. So point number 4 happens, and basically Lucy comes out of nowhere with Happy and kind of just kicks him to the face or something. Basically attacks him, sends him flying, and he's like, what? How are you here? And they're like, haha. And basically they do a flashback, and effectively they were upstairs, or they were with Natsu. They heard the ruckus a bit, and just before the magic engaged, hologram turned up, and he basically saved them, I guess you could say. It was kind of like a funny fan service moment, because they were all naked afterwards, and like Happy makes a joke, and then like Lucy's all like, oh, type of thing, and it's a bit of fun, and then before you know it, they're fighting again. But what really disappointed me, I guess, it was convenient that she got saved. That explains it, which is fine. But again, I'm a bit disappointed to the point where Lucy needs saving again. I know we're not sure if this is the final arc. I've been talking to a few of my commenters, my subscribers, I share, who've been commenting. And that's interesting, but we really want to see more from Lucy now. We don't want to be in the damsel in distress all the time. Don't get me wrong, it is the Spriggan 12, they're no joke, but we want them to really get. Wendy was fighting and she was trying. Obviously it's a matchup difference, we get that, but I want to see more from Lucy now. Come on, character development for Lucy, let's make her a kick-ass fighter. Anyway, that's point number 4. So point number 5. Lucy needs help. Who's there to save the day? Natsu Dragneel. Yeah, so Natsu Dragneel basically comes in the nick of time, does his trademark, I'm fired up and let's go. And it sets up an interesting battle between him and Alessio, Jacob Alessio. Alessio, how he handles it. Now it's interesting because will this battle be determined or end with the defeat of Jacob Alessio before August comes, or could this be a situation where he's been kind of held back, and then August turns up and somehow releases the END in Natsu? It'll be interesting to see what happens. There's a lot of plot lines that they can, or storylines they can go down. One of the thoughts that I had in the early theory was the fact that they've taken out this sort of like a cancerous cell in Natsu was the cells that were meant to protect Natsu from turning into a dragon, but also those that were meant to stop him from turning into END. With them being removed, he'll be stronger now. It's like a limiter has been removed from him, and also because they're anti-magic, they were probably kind of hindering his potential. So you can see why I thought it was the whole stuff that Igneel left in him. So could this be the beginning to where we see the difference with himself taken out? And he seems to have a scar on his face as well. Is that from the surgery, or the fact that he used that technique? We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's an exciting end to the chapter. I can't wait to see next chapter. As always, I'm a big fan of fairy tale. Not everybody is, but you're entitled to your opinion. Let's see what happens next week. It's a 7 out of 10 for me, 6 or 7, mainly because some of it was convenient, I guess. And we find out that he's got space magic, and space magic has been thrown out quite a bit. I mean, you got the Celestial Dragon stuff, you've got the whole thing with Erza, had that guy that was in Alvarez, now Alessio's got it as well. So this whole space magic thing has been kind of overused in my opinion, but a lot of convenience. That's why I'm giving it 6 or a 7 out of 10. I'm hoping next week basically brings it back up. I'm going to watch and enjoy this regardless. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked it, let me know. Thumbs up in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I will leave a link in the description if you don't really want to go through my channel. But anyway, that's all for me today, guys.